Edward Stevenson, TimelessWealth.net, and the following is basic technical analysis on Zevotek Incorporated, traded under the symbol ZVTK. This is the weekly chart, which means every bar and or candle represents 1 week worth of price action, excluding this last bar right here, which sums up the price action following Mondays and Tuesdays trading sessions. Catering to the request of a few members at TimelessWealth.net, I've established this video to highlight a few key things that any party interested in the price action concerning Zevotek Incorporated should take note of. Although this candle represents the price following Mondays and Tuesdays trading session as opposed to a typical 5-session week, we are looking at volume that has outweighed the volume in any prior weeks already. Therefore, the price volume correlation here is very bullish and suggestive of the fact that demand is overwhelming supply at these given intervals. The second key thing you should note is the fact that a bullish technical event occurred following Monday's trading session where the price broke past the 0038 mark. I would consider this a key supporting level, as with any resistance level that is broken, it becomes support. The reason this is key is because this 0038 mark is the 50-week simple moving average, which is pretty significant. So again, reference in the top left hand corner. The second thing is that following Tuesday's trading session, the price formed a high at 0058, which becomes resistance, which not only dates back to Tuesday's trading session but also late 2008, early 2009. Following 0058, there is resistance at the 008 or so mark. I would not consider this to be vital resistance, but it is there nonetheless, so it would be worthwhile making a note of this. So we'll just indicate that in a dashed line. Following which, we have the most important resisting mark with any sub-penny play. That would be the 01 mark, the penny mark, and the reason for that is twofold. One, the fact that, as with most sub-penny plays, there is resistance and or support dating back to this penny mark. However, it is also a psychological resisting level, that is, going from sub-penny to penny always involves some sort of resistance at the penny mark. So this is always considered key, and we'll make that a thicker line to indicate that. Now, the reason I bring up the weekly chart is the fact that resistance is difficult to find on the daily chart unless you can scroll back all the way to late 2008, early 2009. So obviously the view from a weekly perspective is much easier to interpret and likewise state where resistance is in the event that the price continues to appreciate. I'd like to take a look at some of the technical indicators here, mention two in particular. One, the relative strength index, that would be this indicator right here, and I have 3 different intervals here. The 5 RSI, the 10 and 21. As you can see, the 5 has peaked. It's in an overbought condition, which usually signals reversal or a decline in price or retracement. However, I'd like to note that for sub-penny plays, often when RSI crosses above the 70 mark, it indicates momentum, and a lot of momentum is driven into markets like ZVTK. The second indicator I want to focus on, just let me grab a trend line here, is the full stochastics. And I know a lot of momentum traders look for this, and as you can see, I believe as full stochastics breaks above this resisting trend line, we will see further momentum continue to rush into ZVTK's market, and that would be indicated by the volume coming in, as we have seen these prior to trading sessions. Now take note of the 0038 mark, as I've mentioned on this weekly chart, being key support, and we will flip over to the daily chart and take a look at support at greater detail, of course in daily intervals. So here we are with the daily chart. I hope you can see now why it is that I hadn't chosen to use the daily chart to illustrate resistance at the first point. Excuse me, I mean to say in the first place. However, note that 0038 mark I mentioned. What do you know? The 0039 mark on the daily chart represents a key supporting level, that being the 200-day simple moving average. Again, referenced in the top left-hand corner. So as you can see, there's definitely a correlation between 0038.39 and the 200-day simple moving average and the 50-week simple moving average. The other key thing is the volume price correlation I talked about. The volume that came in on Monday's trading session was above average. That's very evident by this bar right here. However, the one that came in on Tuesday's trading session overwhelmed the one on Monday's, which again is indicative of the fact that demand continues to outweigh supply. And that just means that the market continues appreciating, such as it had done on Tuesday's trading session, gaining 25% per share. The other key supporting level that you're looking at is right around 0032, so that would be this right here. As you can see, as the price broke above this, what was once a resisting level, so it would have looked something like this on Monday's trading session. The price broke above it, and I'm sure any traders watching technicals on ZVTK took note and took flight. And obviously, as you can see, the price rallied significantly that session and the one which followed, which was Tuesday's trading session. So to quickly sum up, two key supporting levels, 0039/0038 and 0032. As for resistance, we're looking at 0058, which was the high on Tuesday's trading session right here, as well as mild resistance at 008, followed by pivotal resistance at the penny mark, so that'd be 0.01. Once again, this was Edward Stevenson, TimelessWealth.net. I would encourage you to visit my site, check out some of the materials I've added recently, and subscribe to my free newsletter for overlooked trading and undervalued investment ideas. Thank you for listening.